Here we go. I started with d4. Maybe we can get a Grunfeld. I've been trying to play this again recently. He allows it. Let's play it. Fonskar has a record of 3 wins against me. Maybe it's time for my revenge here. He just develops. E4 is the most common move there. I guess, though, I still want to put pressure on the center with the bishop. And what's he doing? Putting a bishop out there. What is that about? I don't know. The pawn seems well defended enough. Oh, he could take he could take my knight. He could take my knight. I'd take back with the queen, and then he could take here. Huh. That is true. Let's stop that. He could have done that the move before. Yeah, I can't actually play. Well, I could have played c5 there as a sacrifice, as a pawn sack, but I couldn't actually play knight to d7 without hanging my knight. So, yeah, it's a weird position. I don't know what's going on here, really. I have blocked in my bishop, and you might think that's strange, but I have plans to open it up, so I'm not actually worried about that at this point. First of all, let's get the queen side sorted out a bit. Do something with the knight. Yeah, okay, he just plays strange moves. That's all there is to it. This is looking like a really juicy diagonal for the bishop, though, isn't it? Okay, it's a good diagonal for his bishop, too, I guess. And then he castles over there. So, what to do here? His bishop can come back to g3 at any time, looking at these squares. So rook to b1, not very attractive, or queen c2. Just gives him a tempo. Maybe queen c1. Kind of like to defend that bishop against discoveries of the knight. And then want to try and arrange pawn to e5 here. Maybe I can play it right away. Pawn to e5, he takes, I take, he takes, I take. It leaves me with an isolated pawn there, but with pressure on his knight. Yeah, maybe I can just play it immediately. Well, you have to say White's play is very original. Although he missed a chance to just win a pawn right at the beginning. Okay, that's all the more reason to play here, I think. He will have queen check on b3. That's okay. King can just step aside and the queen's not hitting anything else here. That was the other reason for moving my queen to the side, is getting away from that potential pin along this diagonal. So if he takes with the pawn and I take with the knight and he takes back, I could take the bishop first, maybe. He passes by. Okay, very, very interesting. What to do here? Push the pawn, I guess. Push the pawn. The knight goes back. Bring the rook over to defend. But it's actually under attack. It is under attack and I can't defend it. Okay, how about if I push the f pawn? He takes, I take back with the rook. If he doesn't take, I can push on with. If he doesn't take, I can push on with e5, e4, e5 to e4. Yeah, so he pushes the pawn again. He's kind of predictable. Predictably, I can have no idea what he's going to play next. The move I least expect is the move he's going to play. I guess I win a pawn here, right? I take here, he takes back, and then I play knight f6, and I'm forking the two pawns. But he has a protected passed pawn now, so. And he can go after my e-pawn. But his king side is looking a bit shaky. That opened up the queen onto this square too, so maybe it'd be even better to take with the queen. He can trade off the knight first, of course. But if he just retreats the bishop, he's got two pieces looking at my e-pawn, which seems to be a critical pawn, so maybe I'll take with the knight to help defend that. And then see about getting my other pieces into the game. Lift up the queen, bring the rook over, bring the bishop over, that kind of thing. Action seems to be center and king side at the moment. Well, what unexpected move will he play next? He could just push this pawn forward and ignore everything. That might be in keeping with his style. He could... I really expect him just to drop the bishop back. That looks like the best move. He could defend his g-pawn with bishop here, but then I'll probably take his e-pawn. Can you do anything with the queens or the rook? Queen out here. He could put his queen on b3 to line up a potential check here. That would slow me down for a little bit. I'll probably take a moment to just get my king away from the check. Let's see, other unexpected moves. Maybe knight g4. That would knight g5 would be unexpected. But knight g5 to knight g5 to e6 is actually an annoying move, isn't it? But if he plays knight g5, I play queen takes g4. I'm hitting the bishop. He could trade queens. Don't want to go into an endgame here with that passed pawn. What is Mr. Fonskar thinking? I don't know. Yeah, knight g4 looks like an interesting move. So if he plays knight g4, I mean knight g5, oh, he just took. So I think I have to take with the bishop. I want to hold on to this pawn, as I was saying. So queen d7, rook e8, and bringing the bishop around. Okay, so he's moving his knight around so he can, he's going to push another pawn, maybe. He's also defending the g-pawn. Still, lift up the queen, bring a rook over, bring this bishop into the game. Yeah, there he goes with the pawn. Oh, I wanted to bring the rook over first. Wanted to bring that rook over. And drop the bishop here. So now maybe I will take this. I don't know. It does involve a queen trade, which I don't especially want. But if I go into a pawns up endgame, even with this pass pawn, I might be okay. So he defends. So what now? How do I break through here? I've got a dark squared bishop and a light squared bishop. And so he's got weaknesses on the dark squares. Let's see if I can exploit that. Ah, he walked into that one. I'm not sure what his idea was there. Was he thinking of doubling on the f-file, or was he trying to swing his rook over to the queen side? I have no idea. Maybe he was defending the knight from the side so the queen could move. Well, if this pans out, I may get my revenge. My revenge on Foskar for all those losses. Fonskar. Okay, so I can take here now, right? There's a pin. And the lack of pawn cover around his king will finally cause him some problems. Yeah, I'm also threatening to take on e5 too, for the same reason. e4. Queen takes e4 is threatened, and he ignores it. Do I want to play that? He's guarding this check. I have this check over here. And then I can bring the bishop out. Let's see. Or I could just think of playing h5, h4, h3. He's got the h1 square pretty well covered though. And if I bring my queen over with check and then bring the bishop over, he might just pin my bishop there, force some kind of trade. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and take another pawn. May come in handy someday. So next, maybe the check and lifting a rook and trying to get something going along the fourth rank there. Now I'm hitting the c-pawn too. It's useful in a way to, yeah, so he does that. It's useful in a way to undermine, take these pawns that are supporting his passer. That is definitely something useful. Okay, so let's lift up a rook. Yeah, so he's looking to bring that forward. He's got a fork there. He's got a fork here, but the queen is covering it. Yeah, so if I just park the bishop in front like this for now. Yeah, he has that. It's hitting the bishop. So I can throw in a check. Where's his king go? His king goes here or here. Or I could just defend. Okay, yeah, he's pushing the pawns forward. Let's give a check. See where he wants to go. This rook, I have to be careful. It's loose. I mean, the bishop is loose. No, it's the rook. The rook is loose. So where do I go with the queen? Thinking about just bringing my rook back so I can move my bishop. Let's see. So he's gone there. I can't move that bishop with check, huh? Okay, he runs there, so I can take there with check. Bishop takes. And come in with check somehow. He's got two pieces for a rook and a pawn. Not anymore, right? I can just take this. Okay, looks like I finally scored a win against Fonskar. I guess I can see why I have trouble playing him. He plays unusual moves. Moves that catch me by surprise. Anyway, let's check this out in the postmortem and see see how both sides could have improved. And I'll see you then. Bye.